So last week you had a draw against Bristol. What was your thoughts on that game?
I think there was lots of positives to take from the game. In certain areas in our attack we caused Bristol a lot of trouble. Unfortunately, defensively we weren't quite on the money, and Bristol, in fairness to them, exposed us really well in that. But a really good test of character for the boys, and to show resilience to come back and sneak that draw at the end was a really positive for us.
Perfect. So what's your thoughts been on the league so far?
It's been a really positive campaign. I think we're building nicely, creating those connections with a new group of players, hanging our hat on sort of making those connections on both sides of the ball, having that opportunity to express yourself in attack, with that focusing on lots of energy in terms of getting the ball to space as much as possible and then winning that physical battle on both sides of the ball. That's been there in abundance. Obviously, there's learnings we've been taking from each week, and that's part of the process for these young lads, and being tactically aware of sort of shot selection and what to call and where and why. That's probably where we're challenging now over the next couple of weeks.
Perfect. So you got an extra week of training this week. What's that going to do to you in the run up to Exeter next week?
Yeah, I think it's a really good opportunity, first and foremost, to the boys recover, refresh, and sort of get their bodies back into some sort of condition ready to go again this week. It's been a really good opportunity for us as coaches to look at those 3 games, focus on the detail a little bit more in training, and with that then hopefully we can all get stuck into this week ready to go against what we expect to be a tough challenge down in Exeter.
So you've got a couple of first team players such as Lewis Ludlow tonight involved in training. How will that help the guys?
It's an unbelievable opportunity for the boys to experience the knowledge and understanding of those first team lads. Lewis is coming in tonight to look at the defence. Wadey's been in and worked with our back 3. And obviously Caelan did a little bit with our scrum halves on Thursday night in the IDP session, which is really good. And I think that goes a real long way in terms of aligning the academy with the first team, and making those connections together to help that sort of progression into that environment, hopefully.
So with the Six Nations coming up, a couple of the u18s lads are going to be going up to the senior squad. How is that going to help these boys?
For the boys, it's an amazing opportunity, first and foremost. I think it says a lot about the club and the programme that we're in a position where we can give these young lads exposure in that first team environment this week. And it's a great opportunity for those lads to experience, work with the first team players, experience what a training week looks like, and also be in that match day experience. And I think it's a really valuable lesson for them to be able to take away, whether that be into their school programme or club programme moving forward.
So obviously you've got a long trip down to Exeter this weekend. What's your thoughts going to be on that game with the preparation?
Going to Truro in Cornwall is always going to be a big challenge for us, but it's a challenge we should be really excited about. We can only control what we can control, and that's sort of the message to the players this week is preparation for them is going to be key. There's going to be a lot of outside noise, disruption to travel and getting up early and things, but the focus on preparation and being prepared for that journey, looking after themselves, nutrition, looking after their bodies and putting themselves in the best foot forward, meaning when we get to the game, it's just 2 sets of posts, 4 white lines, and hopefully there's no real challenges for us there. It's just another game of rugby that we've prepared well for.
So you got a big home fixture against Bath. What's that going to be like?
Yeah, I mean, look, we'll look to Bath in a week's time. Our first and foremost thought is Exeter on the weekend, but from what we've seen, Bath are a top team, and there will be challenges. I think a lot of those boys, the Millfields, the Wellingtons and the Beach and Cliff programmes are all really strong, so that's going to be a really good test for us at home, which we're excited about, but we're not really looking beyond Exeter this weekend.